Hi, and welcome to this new series of videos that will inform us about metallurgy, more particularly metallurgy of steels and steel alloys, ferrous metals in general. I guess the best place to start would be to just ask the question, what is steel? Well, steel is an alloy of iron and carbon. A lot of iron and a little bit of carbon. We're talking here somewhere between 0.1 and 0.8% of carbon. Now, ferrous metals can be divided into two large families. The first family would be the cast irons, and the second family would be the steels. Now, these families can be subdivided. So if we look at the cast irons, we can say that there are three main types of cast irons. There are the gray cast irons, the white cast irons, and the malleable cast irons. If we look at the steel side of the family, we can say that steels can be divided into two large families: the plain carbon steels and the alloy steels. The plain carbon steels, well, there are only three types: low carbon steel, medium carbon steels, and high carbon steels. It's important to note that the difference between plain carbon steel and alloy steels is that plain carbon steels contain only iron and carbon, whereas the alloy steels contain iron, carbon, and other elements. So let's start with the cast iron side of the equation. Cast irons contain iron and carbon, but are not steels for two reasons. First off, the carbon content is way too high. Secondly, they are not mechanically formed. They are poured into molds. Now, they are not mechanically formed because their high carbon content makes it very difficult to deform them. So now let's take a look at our steel side of the ferrous metals family. Now, you can see that we've divided the steels into two large groups: the plain carbon steels and the alloy steels. The plain carbon steels are the least expensive steel family. There are three types of plain carbon steels: low, medium, and high plain carbon steels. They are divided that way in low, medium, and high carbon content because of what can be done with them. Mild steel or low carbon steel cannot be heat treated, so it's to be used as is. It is very malleable. Medium carbon steel is a lot less malleable, but it can be hardened to a medium level. High carbon steel is not malleable at all, but it can be hardened to a high degree of hardness. Mild carbon steels are generally used in structural applications, whereas medium carbon steels are used when shock resistance and resistance to wear are required. High carbon steels are generally reserved for low-grade cutting tools. The plain mild carbon steels are available in structural bars such as H-beams, I-beams, C-channels, and so on. They are also available in bar stock, round, square, hexagonal, and so on, either hot rolled or cold rolled. They can also be had in plate form, hot and cold rolled, and in sheet metal, which is almost invariably cold rolled steel. Medium carbon steels, however, are available in bar stock and in plate form, either hot rolled or cold rolled. The high carbon steels, however, are generally only available in hot rolled bar stock. Now, it's important to note that these three plain carbon steels are not all hardenable. The low carbon steel just doesn't have enough carbon in it to be quenched, but the medium and high carbon steel do. But seeing as they're plain carbon steels, they have to be quenched in water. And the hardness penetration, or the depth of hardness obtained after quenching, well, it's not very good on these plain carbon steels.